What did you learn from your last meeting? One, you took a pretty hard shot there. You got through it. When you look back on that, what did you get out of it?
You know, how to survive a devastating body shot. You know, I mean, a fighter like me, I'd be lying if I never said that I haven't been hurt in the ring. As I was growing up in the amateurs, I was dropped in the ring, you know. So I know what it's like to be hurt. I know what it's like to be dazed, to be rocked, you know. I don't know what it's like to be stopped. And so due to that, you know, and being at my hometown, you know, that body shot hurt. That clean left hook to the body, you know, especially from the southpaw, which is his power side, it got right underneath my rib because I missed. I hit him with several straight right hands that round. I clearly thought to myself, I see his head over there, boom, another free point. Somehow, his head continued to travel. He made me miss, and there was nothing I could do. In another millisecond, his hook was underneath my right arm. I couldn't pull my right arm fast enough and get my elbow to block the shot. So, another thing I tell people, by being an experienced knockout artist, you know, it's one thing to hit somebody to the head. You get what's called your bell run. You get that buzz. You get that feeling, right? But that's not a painful feeling. It's just a sensation that you have to learn how to deal with. And then if it goes beyond that sensation, you're kind of knocked out and you don't feel that either, you know? Body shots are on a whole nother level. There's nothing that happens when you get hit to the body except for excruciating pain getting sent up to your brain saying, this shit hurt, you know? So, being in my hometown, I did not want to give him the satisfaction of seeing me go down and take a knee. If the punch was any harder, I don't think I could have resisted from taking a knee. It was right at the borderline of the level of pain that I can handle. And so I showed the world that I can handle it like a true champion would. We continued to move around for that round. We tried to run away, as they say, because you need to waste time, you know. I mean, I'm hurt. I'm not trying to get hurt more than that. Luckily, it was towards the end of the round. I was able to waste time, and I was able to get to a point to where the bell rung, and then I got my minute rest to get a full recovery. I took that recovery. I was recovered, but due to the understanding of that he had a little bit of momentum towards the end of that round, I actually didn't put myself back into the fight until 1 minute and 30 seconds into the next round. The funny thing is, I wanted to wait half of the round, but I don't see the clock. When I rewatched the fight, I literally waited half of the round. So it's just amazing how I've been boxing for 20 years, that natural 3-minute clock, and knowing the time that you have in the ring. Easily, once when he came out of that round, he didn't rush me. I thought he was going to rush me. I thought maybe he would attack the same spot as soon as possible, throw big shots, try to do something. You just got a little momentum in the fight for yourself. How do you want to beat the champion? I am the champion. What do you want to do to me? He didn't show anything. So after that, I realized, okay, Keith, you're recovered. He's not doing nothing. Time to go back to what you were doing. Landed your big punch. Ba-ba, ba-ba, boom. I was able to land a nice little hook that cut him. They called it a headbutt. It wasn't a headbutt. It was a left hook that he ran into. Normally, when they say that it's a headbutt, they normally have a highlight to show you the headbutt occurring in the fight. They never had that clip because that clip never existed, you know. But it was a great fight. I learned that really, you know, I can do what I want to do. It was one of the few fights in my whole career that I actually went into without a game plan. I said to myself, this is the third southpaw in a row. First they give you a bun do, switchy swappy, you know, he likes to hop back and forth, and then you get Guerrero, and now you got Collazo, man. I mean, this is Southpaw Central, so if you ain't used to Southpaws by now, kid, I mean, what's going on? So, you know, I had confidence that we knew how to approach fighting a Southpaw, and that we can literally, I mentally imagined, and I didn't see anything. What could Luis Collazo do to Keith Thurman? What can Luis Collazo do to Keith Thurman? I learned he can land a body shot. But before the fight, I couldn't imagine anything. So I said to myself, all you need to do is be in shape, be prepared, and show him Keith Thurman. show him your boxing skills, because your boxing skills are naturally superior, and we proved that night.
Keith, with this fight here, what does this victory do for your career? And if you don't win it, how big of a setback would it be?
You know, this fight is a tremendous fight. It's obviously the biggest fight of my career. Shawn Porter being ex-world champion, but his win over Adrian Broner, you know, he's shown that he is one of the best welterweights in the world. I can't help that Kell Brook lives on the other side of the seat, you know. Shawn Porter, every single time you see Shawn fight, man, he gives it his all. He comes to win. He's not coming to lose. He's not coming to back down. Just like the fighters tonight, he's trained by his father. His father has a lot of pride in what he's able to accomplish with his son. They believe that they're really just getting started. They got more to prove. They want to prove it through me. We're not going to let that happen. Now, if I win this fight, winning the fight is great. How we win the fight is more important. Winning the fight by a stoppage sets a big statement into the welterweight division. I am Keith one-time Thurman. You know, one of the best, one of the most deadliest fighters in the world of boxing today, especially at 147. Now, a loss, I'm undefeated. It'll be my first. It'll gauge me down. It'll put out the fire of the one-time hype of, is one time the man to take over the division now that Floyd Mayweather's not here no more. I've shown that I can fight with a hematoma. I can take a body shot. If you don't understand that I am one of the toughest in the division, you know, then I guess that's another reason why you should watch the fight come March 12th.
Hey, Keith. Kell Brook, his keys, one of his biggest keys to victory was tying up.
No, that's nobody. When have you seen Keith Thurman tie up? The only thing I tie up is my shoes. You know, that's not my style. Okay, I'd rather use my legs than tie you up. Reason being is I can't fight. You can't fight. Now there may be moments if. Another thing that people don't understand, if you really watch that fight, I was sitting ringside during that fight. Shawn Porter constantly smothered himself in the fight. Once when you smother yourself, one, you have lessened your ability to throw effective punches. And then two, you're naturally asking to be held. You know, if for some reason I am over smothered, I'm not saying that I won't hold, but I'm not gonna hold and hold and hold and hold. I'm gonna hold, pivot, reposition, let go, and get the ring behind me. Do something, create space. AB, they were kind of on the inside, and Shawn, man, he didn't like that Kell Brook experience. He didn't like that holding experience. So now, I'm pretty sure they got little holding exercises where they go and they try to work through the hole. They try to work through the hole. You know, but once again, once when you're at that distance, how effective is the punching? How much credit are you really getting from the judges? What happened to Shawn Porter in that fight really was from about the 5th round towards the end of the fight was Kell Brook was able to be more accurate from the outside with straight 1-2. You know, Adrian Broner was able to back up and catch him with singular left hooks and counter right uppercuts. You know, it was a competitive fight when Shawn Porter fought Adrian Broner. But the one thing that I told everybody, for every one punch AB throws, Shawn's throwing 4 and 5. You know, and that's exactly what happened that night. And I think that was the keys to victory for Team Porter. That's why when the knockdown occurred, it wasn't significant enough. The only thing that AB could have done was follow the knockdown with a knockout, with a TKO. You know, which is something that me and my team believe that we're capable of doing. If we have somebody hurt, we normally get them out of there. Bundu was an exception. It happened so early. I figured we don't need to rush into it, because then it would have been a first round stoppage. We don't need to rush into it. We had a good training camp. Let's box him for some more, and let's get him out in the 4th or 5th. Well, obviously, Bundu was tired. He didn't want to take those chances anymore. Then I was stuck in a dilemma. Do you force the knockout, or do you take this easy victory? Obviously, we took the easy victory.
What's the
Do you
keys to your?
feel, is the timing right for this fight for you? I mean, there are people that believe that it should marinate for a while. Do you think it's right?
It just marinated for a while, if you ask me. It could have happened last year. Now it's happening this year, you know? I mean, it could have happened a few years ago when I first asked for the fight. I first asked for the fight when Shawn Porter was the the IBF champion, and I was not a champion. I did not hold a title at the time. I simply wanted to fight Shawn Porter because I knew the potential of the matchup, and I wanted a title. I wanted to fight anybody that was willing to fight. At the time, they didn't want to fight. So they know that we've wanted this fight for a long time. It has marinated long enough. If it's a good enough fight, who knows? You might get a rematch. It doesn't have to happen right away, and we can marinate on that one.
We're gonna one more question.
You know
We're
that
gonna switch.
Bandu and Collazo, but is it safe to say that Porter is a level above them and he might be the best opponent you face at this point in your career?
You know, I never consider anybody the best opponent of my career until they show me what they got in the ring. There is no evidence until there's evidence.
What are the keys to your victory over Shawn Porter?
As many keys as I want to pull out. You know what I'm saying? We got lots of keys that we can use come that night. So one of the keys is to definitely, the real key is training camp. The way you preparation is the real key. And we're gonna go home and we're gonna be well prepped for this fight. In the preparation, you know, I don't want to let Shawn Porter outwork me. We believe that that's one of his go-to strategies, one of his keys to victory. So acknowledging his key to victory and then working around that, it'd be very impressive if Team Porter decided we came to outbox her. That's exactly what we came to do. We're going to dance, move, dance, outbox. That'd be very interesting. I don't see that happening. So my key is to stay on the outside, pick my punches wisely, use my defense, whether that means blocking and countering or simply evading and moving and countering. People know that I can throw my counter punches from all sorts of angles. There might be times where he's pressing me, I might have to work off the ropes. In the later rounds with Robert Guerrero, I showed a few combinations working off of the ropes. So, you know, I'm just gonna be open-minded because at this stage, what I realize the best thing to do is to not have expectations on how a fighter's gonna perform, but be ready to put on your best performance. And that means if I need a dance, I'm a dance. If I need to take it to him, I'm gonna take it to him. If we catch him one time, we see that leg buckle, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go to close the show. And that's the kind of fighter I am. I'm not going to change the kind of fighter I am because I'm fighting Shawn Porter.
We're gonna be over here. Actually, we're moving over here.
Can you elaborate on the Porter stance off the gate, how you've been running from this fight, and about them talking about they beat you in amateurs?
Why don't we move over there and ask that question?
Lies on lies on lies.